Good evening. My name is David Thomas. I'm your county auditor here in Ashtabula County. Thank you to the chamber. I know it's almost 9 o'clock. Thank you to everyone who is still here and listening. We really appreciate you taking the time to learn a little bit. So my ask of you all tonight is very simple. It's to re-elect me, to essentially perform your duties as citizens of our county in this kind of job application process that is a campaign, and hire me for another term, for another contract. These past 4 years have been tumultuous and crazy at best. I think that's pretty easy to say. But we've been really busy and really active as a county, and especially as a county auditor's office over these past couple of years. So 4 years ago, I stood right about there and asked you to do essentially the exact opposite. I asked you to not re-elect the current auditor, and I asked you to hire me instead based on a simple promise and based on some values that I said I would bring to the office. And that promise was that we could do better as a county auditor's office in not the core functions. The core functions, and Bill and I have talked about this, the core functions of the office are awesome because our staff are awesome. I was fortunate to be able to keep a lot of the staff that Roger had, my predecessor, and they do a tremendous job day in, day out. But the auditor's office can do much better, said back in 2018, of all the other things that I think the voters expect of, especially local government, but government in general. And those were the three values that I promised of accessibility, transparency, and customer service from your auditor's office. And kind of like our rotary four-way test, we apply that three-way test in almost everything we do in our office to make sure that we're giving you the best service possible. So over the past couple of 4 years, what have we been doing? We've been quite busy with education sessions. In fact, some of you have actually attended this. We've had right around, after last week, about 105 education sessions. Ashtabula Library, Ryan, and Geneva have been wonderful partners with us on that, getting information out to the voters, to the residents, on everything like historic property searches, to all those tax rates and fun things that you were hearing about earlier, to even things like homestead and CAUV and all the different aspects of our office. We're sharing information with the public. And you may think, well, that doesn't really mean much, but imagine, and this happens almost every day, and this is why I remind our staff to think, yes, we're government employees, but we're also providing a service to the public. Imagine a senior citizen who's on fixed income, who had no idea about homestead or no idea about some of the different options with our office to lower their tax rate. They hear about this because of our outreach efforts, and they're able to save about $450 to $500 a year. And that's huge for them. So we're making an impact in those folks' lives every day, really. So that's one thing that we've been doing, a promise that we fulfilled with those education sessions. Also done made things like vacant land sales and forfeited land sales. We've had about 12, we had the one this morning, getting property that's not currently being utilized, that's not being contributing to the tax rules or enjoyed, back into the hands of the public. A huge backlog that we're trying to fulfill, and we're moving those with 12, which is a big record, getting money back to our local entities. We've also, fun fact, the auditor's office does IT for the county. We added public Wi-Fi to the courthouse, which may sound like something silly, but when you're a lawyer coming from out of town, or you're a citizen needing Wi-Fi for some type of research project in the courthouse, that's a big piece of service that we can provide to them. Also, being a watchdog for local entities means, yes, with the county, obviously we're all individual entities in terms of our offices, and so we have natural checks and balances. But the auditor is also the secretary of the Budget Commission, and you probably have read some of the different articles about our work with local entities to make sure that your tax dollars that you vote in are being used correctly, but also are being needed. So we've been able to work with some of the entities and return right around $2 million or so to local taxpayers from local governments that really didn't need the money, and it just took a little bit of pressure and focus from the Budget Commission to be able to say, is that necessary? I think someone else can use that a little bit better. So a whole bunch more things that we've been able to fulfill and promise on the postcard, along with my cell phone, my email address. I've probably talked with almost all of you at one point or another about our office. Try to be as accessible as possible. I think that makes a big difference when we're talking about taxes and finances and people's willingness to not only ask questions of their government and of our office, but also the challenge, which is something that we actually promote and openly welcome through Board of Revision and many other things. things too. So feel free to grab that or visit our website if you want to learn more or reach out at any time. So thanks again for being here.